Let me see. It says here you've been doing a great job helping people know what's going on in the St. Albert area. Well done, well done. Oh, but you do need to go to bed on time and tidy your bedroom a little bit more often. If you remember that Christmas is a time about giving and being helpful to people, so I would love it if some of your viewers would just remember that and do a random act of kindness for someone this Christmas. Make them feel special. We're down here at the St. Albert Centre, and I'm seeing lots of children. They're coming to tell me what they want for Christmas this year. Maybe these guys will share this video, and then we'll get you some more viewers. Spread the Christmas spirit a little bit your way, hey? Merry Christmas.
It's Friday, November 23rd, 2018. I'm Paul Hukalak. Welcome to TV7.ca News. My wardrobe today has been provided by the Tip Top Tailors in St. Albert Centre Mall. Today we talked to Michael Cooper, MP for St. Albert. We had the pleasure of joining some of you at the opening night of Tuck Everlasting, and we talk about a solution for your last-minute Christmas shopping. But first, tonight, light up the holidays with a traditional Christmas celebration at the Snowflake Festival. This annual event will take place from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. in the downtown Heron district. The whole family can enjoy ice sculpture displays, take a ride in a horse-drawn carriage, mingle at the petting zoo, and take in other unique entertainment and displays in this winter wonderland. Santa and his elves will be waiting in Santa's village to greet children and spread some Christmas cheer.
Our Snowflake Festival is coming up on Friday, November 23rd. It's from 6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. in the beautiful Heron district downtown. We have everything from Santa and Mrs. Claus arriving, sleigh rides, lighting up the Christmas tree, lots of indoor and outdoor activities.
This is a free, family-friendly event.
So we've got lots of businesses in the community that are supporting this festival so that we're able to bring it for free to the residents.
TV7.ca's very own Lisa Ruffiange sat down with Mayor Cathy Heron for an exclusive interview. And during the interview, amongst other topics, they talked about traffic solutions, different city initiatives, and about Coffee with Cathy. Coffee with Cathy is the mayor's attempt to connect St. Albert residents.
Coming? I tune into it myself regularly. For anybody that's watching, if you haven't had the chance to take it in, I strongly recommend it. It's a fantastic platform that you can interact with the mayor, and you get to see Boomer and get a little glimpse into how your day usually starts off.
I did it a bit during the election because during an election especially, things are happening very fast, and I wanted instantaneous access out there and answering questions and talking. And you can door knock, but you might hit 100 people in a night of door knocking, or you can sit in front of a camera and invite people into your home and have the same conversation. So I try to do both. It's the number one guideline I've kind of been following is I will do anything and everything to reach out to the public. Not just so I can tell them what's going on, but so I can also hear what they need to tell me and answer questions, make clarification. So Coffee with Cathy, I was sitting at Socrates, my daughter works there, and on Sunday waiting for a table for breakfast, and there was a guy sitting beside me, and he goes, "Are we supposed to have coffee today?" And I didn't recognize him, but I don't think I had any makeup on, and my sweatpants on, because we were going to do some chores later. And I'm like, "Was I supposed to have coffee with you?" And he's like, "Is it Coffee with Cathy today?" So he watches it. I never met him in my life, but he watches it, and he goes, he really enjoys it. So I think the viewership goes up every once in a while. I'm trying to do things different. The last one I did, there was some confusion. The Grandin residents thought I was going somewhere to have coffee, and they could join me. And I thought, well, that's actually not a bad idea.
That's not a bad idea.
Do that? And then we could maybe do the Coffee with Cathy from Good Earth or from Tim Hortons. And so it's evolving.
I'm certain your fan base will follow as long as you continue to have Boomer.
I think Boomer is the big attraction. That's my dog. And I want to do it in my house sometimes, so I feel like I am a real person. I have my own family to deal with and take care of, and that I don't wear makeup every day, and that I'm not sitting in this office on the 3rd floor of City Hall unaccessible. I want to be accessible.
There's a relatability there that comes in when you actually have cameras in your home and you're saying, "Hey, this is me in all my glory," kind of deal.
And I answer every email that comes into my office. I think there might have been 2 that I have not answered because of the vile language in it. And And those people don't need an answer. They just need to get something off their chest. Right. But I will answer even the really harsh criticisms. I answer every email, and same thing with those Facebook Lives. I answer every question, even the hard ones.
To watch the full interview, please check out our Facebook page. The St. Albert Children's Theatre's production of Tuck Everlasting debuted last night at the Arden Theatre to a nearly full house. And as we reported last week, the cast have been rehearsing for weeks, and, in our opinion, all their hard work has paid off tremendously. Some of our viewers were lucky enough to join TV7.ca at the opening night performance. The evening was filled with great music, show-stopping dance numbers, and some stellar dramatic performances from this young, talented cast. Tuck Everlasting, based on the best-selling novel by Natalie Babbitt, will be at the Arden Theatre until December 2nd. Tickets are available through the Arden Theatre or Ticketmaster. And this just in, hint hint, Christmas is just around the corner. And if you're like me, I'm sure you're putting off shopping yet for a couple more weeks. Well, a group of local shops, retailers, and makers have a fun event planned just for you. Sip, Shop, and Slippers takes place December 19th, starting at 1 p.m. and ending with an after party at Confections Cake at 7. Throughout this live-streamed event, local artisans and retailers will help you with your last-minute Christmas shopping by showing you their gift ideas. And of course, if you want to kick off your slippers, you can always join us at one of the many locations we'll be at throughout the day. This event will again be streamed live on TV7.ca. For more information, or if you'd like to participate in this event, drop us a message on our Facebook page. Coming up, we talked to Member of Parliament Michael Cooper about his private members bill. Crystal Lucier joins us with her financial focus segment, and more after this short break.
Nothing is funnier than a box full of puppies. And despite our best efforts, we can't compete. TV7.ca. Slightly less entertaining than a box full of puppies.
Let's go. It's a party on my planet. Yeah. All the girls here and you know we run it. And up on the floor, drinks spilling from the ceiling. Let's lose control, get lost for a minute. Let's go.
Well, we all live busy lives. Perhaps hot mess cleaning can help. They are featured in this week's Business Spotlight.
So I'm Christine Lewandowski with Hot Mess Cleaning, and we're just looking to improve the lives of families here in St. Albert and build strong, long-lasting relationships. We're not your stereotypical cleaning company, and I think that once people get to know us, they see that, and I love the feedback that we've been getting from the members of the community who have been so extremely supportive of us. And every time I meet a new family, it's not just about getting a new client, it's about making a new relationship and connecting with them and being able to ultimately be a part of them moving forward and in being able to enjoy and appreciate their life better. So I was approached actually by an event that was going to be raising funds for victim services, and so we put together a package to go towards that. Our passion is definitely helping women, single moms or women who have left abusive situations. So we're actually planning to do something this Christmas season in regards to giving back to the Wynn House. So we do try to keep our events, or when we're donating money, to St. Albert-based organizations, but that's ultimately Hot Mess's passion, is to really help single moms who have been through some domestic abuse be able to rise above that and have a new start.
Michael Cooper is the Member of Parliament for St. Albert and part of Edmonton. We sat down with him and discussed his current private members bill, C417.
One of the things that I wanted to discuss is your current private member bill before Parliament has to do with citizens that are selected for jury duty. Now, as the law is written, it's an offense to disclose what was presented at trial even after jury duty concludes. Things like traumatic evidence, testimony, they can't be discussed even with a professional should someone require counseling or mental health intervention. Now, can you please explain to us the bill that you're currently working on and why you think that is so important?
Sure. Well, I just, a couple of weeks ago, introduced a private member's bill. It's Bill C417, and it's a bill to help support jurors. And I'll give you a little bit of background. A number of months ago, earlier this year, the Justice Committee, which I serve on, undertook the first parliamentary study around jurors' supports. And in the course of that study, we heard from a lot of jurors who came forward, who told their stories about sitting through trials, being exposed to horrific evidence, and as a result of doing nothing more than their civic duty, were exposed to, suffered as a result of that exposure from stress, anxiety, PTSD, sometimes decades later. I mean, there was one juror who sat on the Paul Bernardo trial who 20 years later is suffering. And one of the things that they said is an impediment to getting the help that they need is the jury secrecy rule, which you alluded to, which makes it a criminal code offense to disclose what took place in the course of jury deliberations.
Right.
And so while jurors can talk about things broadly, they can't actually talk about what took place in those deliberations, which for many jurors is one of, if not the most stressful aspect of jury service. After all, it's a time when you really are going through all of that evidence and deliberating on it.
Right.
And in those very serious cases, you're deciding the fate of someone's life, even though they may be a terrible person or who are accused of doing terrible things. Just the fact that you may be putting that individual behind bars for the rest of his or her life can be very stressful. So to not be able to talk to a mental health professional about those experiences is clearly an impediment.
True.
So
just to clarify then, if I am selected for jury duty and the trial that I happen to be a part of is one that consists of horrific evidence, reconstructions, photos, testimony that weighs on me on a mental level and an emotional level and inflicts a form of trauma on me simply because I'm doing my civic duty, the legal system, the way it is written now, basically has me stymied because I am not at liberty to go in to get the mental health care that I so desperately need afterwards because I cannot disclose these things. Do I have that right?
Mostly. You
Okay.
would be able to access a mental health professional,
Sure.
but to talk about what took place in deliberations, you wouldn't be able to do. And so it's a stumbling block. It's an impediment.
Yeah.
And that's what my bill seeks to help fix.
And how is it going to do that?
Well, what it will do, and it's consistent, by the way, with a unanimous recommendation of a unanimous report from Conservatives, Liberals, and New Democrats at the end of the study, which is to create a narrow exception to the jury secrecy rule. That exception would be that if you're a juror and you are suffering from PTSD or other mental health issues, that you could go to a mental health professional, you could talk about what your experiences were during those deliberations. The mental health professional, of course, is subject to confidentiality.
Of course.
So it would be strictly confidential, and it would be post-trial. So it would be after the fact.
Now, would this be held in any form of record? Would there be anything associated with your name that after this particular trial took place, you did seek out the help of a mental health professional, you did go to counseling, that sort of thing, that would in effect strike you from being able to serve as a juror later on?
Well, this wouldn't, I mean, there'd be no public record from going to a mental health professional. This bill strictly creates an exception.
Okay, so the judicial system doesn't therefore ask afterwards for a report or any type of accountability for people that have gone. So it's strictly confidential, and what you need to discuss, you can discuss in order to get yourself back into a healthy mental state.
Exactly, and a former juror could go to a mental health professional now. This bill doesn't change that, but what it does is it says that if you talk about what happened in the course of your jury service and the deliberation process specifically, you would not be breaking the law, you would not be violating the criminal code. And I think it's one of those things that is a small step, a minor exception, that could really go a long way to helping former jurors get the help that they need. And it's a no-brainer. You know, in terms of the jury secrecy rule, there's a lot of good reasons why it exists, including to ensure the finality of a verdict and just to protect, more broadly speaking, the sanctity of the deliberation process. This bill doesn't impact upon those things because, again, it's after the trial in a context that is strictly confidential.
And how long has this bill been in effect, or this particular law that you're now trying to amend?
I introduced the bill about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And it's really a nonpartisan issue. I was very pleased that Murray Rankin, my colleague, the MP for Victoria, who's the NDP justice critic, is the seconder of the bill. Since we announced the bill, I've been in touch with a number of Liberal MPs, some of whom have come on side, and we're now working on the minister to hopefully get the government on side with
So
this.
It's been done this way for quite a long time, having this inability to discuss with a mental health professional. That has been the law for forever?
Yeah.
To watch the full interview, please check out our Facebook page. On this week's Financial Focus, Krista Lucier talks about changes to the payroll laws that might affect you.
I want money.
Today we're talking about payroll changes. 2018 has been a big year for payroll changes. Changes haven't been made to payroll through CRA for a number of years. The major change that everybody's talking about right now is minimum wage. Effective October 1st, all employees' minimum wage is $15 an hour. If your payroll rolls over the October 1st date, it is required by labor standards that you pay your employees effective October 1st. If you haven't done so, please talk to a professional because you can offer retro pay to save yourself some trouble. There's also the option of neutral gender when applying or talking to EI. EI now offers a gender X option when filling out applications. New EI support is also available for seasonal workers. This is going to impact over 51,000 workers that work seasonal work. There are new EI rates and applications when doing seasonal work. Make sure that you talk to Service Canada or go to servicecanada.ca and look up the new EI support for seasonal workers. We also are going to be celebrating a new holiday. The date hasn't been set yet, but the government has implemented a stat holiday in respect of the legacy of residential schooling. This is going to be an Aboriginal supported holiday and will be a stat holiday across Canada. There's no date set yet, but watch closely because we'll see something come up towards the end of 2018. Changes to treatment of holidays are also occurring. We used to have stat holidays that impacted only a certain number of employees. Those are now holiday days, and all employees are entitled to some of those dates. So please make sure that you're talking to somebody that is aware of the changes and can help walk you through them. Thank you very much for listening to today. That's Payroll Changes. I'm Krista Lucier, TV7.ca.
I want money.
And happy Black Friday, everyone. If you haven't already got a jump on your Christmas shopping, this weekend is the time to start. Traditionally, this is when retailers start discounting for the Christmas season.
Yeah, everything is 50% off. That includes all the accessories, which don't usually go to that price. So ties, belts, pocket squares, cufflinks, stuff like that. One of the best things actually are behind me there is all the socks. So we got lots of socks. Everything from your paisleys, houndstooth patterns, lots of Christmas stuff too. It's pretty popular. We usually tend to sell out of all of our socks, and the ties tend to go fairly quickly after that.
That will do it for today. If you have any news tips or community events, please message us on our Facebook page or drop us an email at news@tv7.ca. For us all here at tv7.ca, I'm Paul Huckalak.